This is a Lip Media podcast.
Me.
Hello, Lamely. Welcome to another bonus episode of Me, I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey, where we take a sidestep from the meaning of Mariah Carey memoir that we're reading, because Mariah has delivered to us a spectacle of incredible proportions. This is Fab, Adam Richard. That is Posh,
Hello, darling.
Curtis. And we are going to be delving into Mariah Carey's magical Christmas special. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Do we have a special Christmas me moments to kick things off?
Me moments. We just have a little brief one because Mariah did do a little bit of press around the special. But to start with, we have a little bit of Oprah-splaining. Because
Oprah-splaining Christmas. It's the only way it can happen.
Because Oprah did, in fact, watch the special and tweet about it. And the big news is that Oprah sang some lyrics correctly.
What?
Yes. She was singing along to Mariah and she actually got words out. Can you believe it?
Although, was it a Christmas carol? Or was
yes,
it
was.
Mariah's
It was a Christmas carol. But
you know
still,
what I would really love to see is Oprah just trying to wrestle with some of those whip crack lyrics in Osana.
Yeah. Oh, she yes. But she'd need to believe them.
Believe.
But the other sort of more specific to the special bit and piece is that Mariah did take part in a little interview press call with people all over the world. And we found out that there is, in fact, another Christmas song that exists in the vault.
What?
Yes, Mariah did consider bringing it out for the special. It didn't quite fit, but she said she's very excited about it. So we may see that at some point. Or there'll be Merry Christmas 3U. And the other little bit was when asked to compare Ariana's fame, so a more sort of recent fame, to hers when she was starting out in the 90s. Mariah's response was, well, don't pigeonhole me to an era, please. And that was that. So she did go on to answer the question, mentioned nothing about Ariana whatsoever.
I love her so much.
But just kind of reminded everyone that, yes, I had big hits in the 90s, but then I also had the hit of the decade in the 2000s, and I just went to number one again at Christmas with All I Want for Christmas Is You, which is 20-something years old now.
25.
So,
26 this year.
Just
but at the time, 25.
slip that in.
Yep.
Yes. So she's very good. Brings it back to what's important.
Which is
her
right.
achievements. And that's it. It's just a short one this week.
I did get the impression when she was on American Idol that Mariah's many achievements came up a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not everyone, number one, that's really hard to get. Not everyone has that.
Not everyone has that. 19 times. One of my favourite things ever is I used to have this video, like the first video of Mariah. I think I've still got it on VHS somewhere. And it was where she's talking about, she's like, the thrills come in stages. It's like, the first time you see yourself on the top of the Billboard chart, she goes, the first time you see yourself there at all, it's like, number 53!
Fair enough.
I love that she just glossed over number 53 and went straight to number one. It's like, oh yeah, I should pretend to be humble and that I had a moment before number one.
We love
number
it. We love
53.
I'd be happy with number 99. Just quietly.
You know me, I'm happy with 1 star. Any just people noticing that this podcast is on.
No, I need the 5. Love me.
Love Posh, hate me.
Yeah. It works for me.
1 star for me, 4 stars for Posh. That adds up to 5.
5. All right. Shall we break it on down?
Let's break it on down.
Break me on down. Okay, so the intro, let's just start right there. Because the second it started, I just got the nanny Christmas animation feels. And I was already sucked in. I was like, I am here.
You're here for
and
it.
I'm here for the 45 minutes, the 43.5 minutes. And let's just smash into it. Now, we started with Tiffany Haddish. I assume it's Tiffany Haddish. I'm really bad with names.
Yeah, that's her.
Narrating a little bit of a story.
Yes,
and we're introduced to...
It's basically the night before Christmas and all through the house, blah, 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 which is, it's just a bunch of rhyming couplets that start with the night before Christmas.
We love a rhyming couplet. And, of course, we're introduced to Billy Eichner as Santa's secretary. We have
the tallest elf who ever lived.
Right? We have a smattering of Bette Midler and that girl from Stranger Things.
Millie Bobby Brown.
And of course, Heidi Klum's.
Heidi Klum. Heidi Klum being hilarious. I love when Heidi Klum does comedy. Like, just like, what? Go outside. I don't know what you mean.
And are we going to put down the tarp to talk about you knowing Bette Midler?
I spoke to her once on the phone, okay? Like, it's not... I don't know her. A phone conversation. She talked about birds. It was a bit dull.
Oh, it's terrifying. But then, of course, we see that there is a glittery phone in the North Pole because spirits are a little down throughout the world this year, of course. So Billy Eichner picks up that glittery phone and calls somebody. Who's it going to be?
Well, we know who it's going to be. He's already spoken to
Gloria
3 other stars.
Estefan.
Not Gloria Estefan.
I would watch that Christmas special though. And we suddenly introduced to Mariah's home where she's wearing a very casual Christmas ski suit.
Very, very casual, sparkly knitted jumpsuit, like you do.
The most important thing is Mummy's got a key light.
Oh my God, she turns on the light on top of the tree. Mummy's got a key light.
It's very important. Very self-aware diva.
And then she talks to little Mimi. Is that meant to be her?
Yes. So this was the thing. Do we think that Mariah just kidnapped this child and is forcing a happy childhood on her? Like, you will like this. Little Mariah. And the girl's just like, my name is Taryn. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know who little Mimi's supposed to be.
I don't know if she's a hired actor or just legitimately Mariah is holding her hostage.
Or has Mariah gone back in time to get herself and give her a good Christmas? Because one year she didn't have a Christmas tree.
That's a good special. Like, just Mariah. That's the Doctor Who Christmas special. Mariah going back in time to bring herself forward.
Because
to have a happy childhood.
Reminded me, I don't know if you've seen there's a Barbra Streisand concert she did on New Year's once. And Barbara, like there's a little girl playing little girl Barbara at the start of the show. Yeah. And then Barbara herself comes out. And little girl Barbara's with a woman pretending to be her mother. And then halfway through the show, Barbara sings with the little girl self and a video of herself in Yentl, and they all sing together.
Of course they do. Have you ever heard the podcast with Alec Baldwin where he interviews Barbra Streisand and she just talks about soup for an hour and a half?
Yes!
And they just eat soup. Yeah.
Yes.
So nothing will ever surprise me when it comes to Babs. Now, of course, it is Billy calling Mariah, and she opens up her own glittery phone, her iPhone under the chocolates. And answers, of course,
untouched chocolates.
Yes, which
Mariah's
is I don't understand
untouched
that.
Chocolates.
I don't understand what that's.
I don't know what that's about either.
Someone untouched chocolates. I don't know her.
I don't know her who doesn't eat chocolates. Someone bought me some like wax candles in the shape of chocolates for the bathroom.
What a waste.
But I tried to eat them anyway, just because I thought I was like my willpower. It's
oh
so weird. I have so little willpower when it comes to chocolate. I was like, maybe it is. No, it's wax.
Oh my God. Now I just want to wash myself with chocolate. That's what I took out of this. But yes, Mariah answers the phone with her little pinky out. Good girl. And basically, Billy Eichner, the elf, is just like, please come and save Christmas. And Mariah is like, I'll be right there.
And she sings the sleigh ride
not
song.
Not a second thought. Now, of course, when she jumped onto the sleigh and she's flying through the air, all I could think of was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. We're back to Me, I Am Melissa Joan Hart. When she used to ride the vacuum through the stars, and that's how I saw this. I was like, good. Melissa Joan Hart walked so that Mariah could run.
I have had a problem with this video for the last fortnight, in that in every quiet moment I've had anywhere, it can be very, very silent, and it's very intimate at my house with me and my fiance, and I will just start saying, ring-a-ling-a-ding-a-ding-dong-ding, a ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-dong. It's a problem. It won't go out of my head.
That's the point. That's why Mariah did this. Now, she does land.
Filled me with festive cheer.
Oh, yes.
Ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong-ding.
It is lovely to be filled with festive cheers. Now, of course, she does land in the North Pole. And then all of a sudden we see that Brian is one of the toy soldiers.
I know, he's very scary.
And he is dancing very camply.
Oh, what about his mate with the beard?
The whole thing's a lot. But I will say, watching it, it wasn't until you said last week that how he's the choreographer as well. So he probably did choreograph a lot of this. And I thought he's really choreographed the campness. Yeah. And that was always the thing. For as camp as I am, I really struggle with that kind of dancing. I'm the Britney Spears, do not smile, just be fierce kind of dancer.
No, you've got Christmas dancing requires full face and big grins and a
very
lot
difficult.
of girly head flicks.
It's difficult for me, but I was like, all right, he's going for it. He's getting it.
He's a dancer.
And then, of course, just in a little lovely outro, we end with Glory to the Newborn King, which was very nice. Now, the other thing I noticed with this is that the beginning of it, where it's sort of the diva coming to save the day, and it's all very positive, and we're putting on a concert. That's how we're going to save the day. It's almost the anti-version of A Diva's Christmas Carol, which stars Vanessa Williams. Not the one from Melrose Place, the other one, from Desperate Housewives, Miss Universe.
Yes.
And I only watched that the other week for the first time. It was very exciting. Now, of course, it doesn't follow the Christmas Carol structure, but just the point of we're putting on a show and that's going to save Christmas for Vanessa Williams. We're putting on a concert so I can just have more money. And frankly, I'm not sure which one I relate to more.
It's very Judy Garland to put on a concert. Christmas.
Yes.
and also then, get your kids in the TV show at Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
That's very Judy Garland as well.
Yeah, no, Vanessa would never have done that. She barely wanted to see her own niece in the movie. Now, I also love that once again, Mariah lands and is instantly doing her own promo. She's like, don't forget I've got a book out and the rarities and everything.
Billy says, are you sure you can organise a concert? And she does say, look, if I can make 15 albums, raise 2 kids, write a memoir and work out in high heels, I can put on a concert.
Yeah. But it just shows she's always on, isn't she?
And Billy's like, and the audiobook. I loved the audiobook.
Oh, yeah. Available on Audible. You could hear that if you listen real carefully. I also love that there's mention of wind machines on standby, and Billy Eichner is threatening to sing, and Mariah's like, "Oh no, that's fine, but no, I'll need someone to play music." And we hit into When Christmas Comes, which is of course a Mariah song.
I think that song should be retitled after seeing this special as. It's Titsmas time. When Titsmas comes. Jesus Christ. What? I couldn't. I sprained an eyeball watching this.
Well, I mean, she does go into Jingle Bells for a second in there. So, maybe she's jingling.
It is, there's a lot of Mariah. It's all boobs and thighs, this special. This should be the Mariah Carey Tits and Thighs Christmas special.
Yeah.
Mariah Titsmas.
And all of a sudden, we're hit with a little bit of the Peanuts gang.
Yes, Woodstock comes in the window.
Yes, and I assume this is
with
just
ice by Snoopy.
I just assume that this is what happens to Mariah all the time. Like, was this actually for the special, or is this just a little behind the scenes?
She's always hanging out with Woodstock.
And of course, when Charlie Brown's talking to Linus, and all about Christmas and what are you doing this Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I love that Charlie Brown kind of sighs over Linus, and it just makes me think of Mariah. It's like, oh, Morgan. And they sing a little bit of Christmas Time Is Here, which brings us to the end of the Peanuts section. But it was fun. It was quite fun to hear All I Want for Christmas being sung almost like a traditional Christmas carol.
Yeah, being played by Schroeder on the piano.
Yeah, it was cute. Very nice.
Well, that did hark back to the chapter in the book where she said when she wrote it, she thought of Schroeder playing his little toy piano in Peanuts.
Oh, the Easter eggs are everywhere, which is very confusing because it's Christmas. She does it. She's just like Coles. She's getting ahead.
She's getting ahead. Oh my god, they just do hot cross buns all year round now.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And now, of course, we come to one of the biggest moments of the special where Mariah goes to the toy factory to perform for the elves because she's very generous.
She's so generous.
Free of charge. And all of a sudden, J Hud and Ariana Grande rock up in what you've described as their bridesmaids' dresses.
It looks like Mariah's gone, I'm going to be... I mean, Mariah has dressed like a succession of slutty presents. But...
I thought you said presidents. So I was like, that's fun.
Presents. Like, she looks like Christmas presents that are barely wrapped.
Yeah.
I've run out of sticky tape. We'll just put a little bit of tape at the middle. That'll hold it together. Yeah. But this one, it's like she's gone, okay, so I'm going to have two backup singers who are, I guess, famous. Yeah. Let's dress them as bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Green is not flattering on anyone. They can both be green because it's
And I will say I was quite shocked but glad that Mariah did let them sing.
Like, I know. I love
they
that
had a couple of moments.
Although,
they did.
Because now this is her single, so this is a video on YouTube, and I've watched it maybe 6 or 7 times. And there is a point towards the end, after the bridge, where J Hud's just checked out. Like she's waiting around for the check. Like, oh yeah,
I sang my note.
Whenever I've done my bit. When they finish, can I go home?
Yeah. And it did lead me to wonder. I mean, J Hud. We love J Hud. She's fabulous. So I'm sure there are many ways in which Mariah could know her. But given their history, how does Mariah know Ariana? How did this come about?
I think this came about because Mariah wanted to go, I think I will know Ariana on my terms.
Yes. To get my 20th number one.
The synchronized squeals, though, is pretty spectacular.
We will get there. So the thing with Ariana, I quite like Ariana, but sometimes I just don't know what she's saying.
Well, she's very breathy.
Very breathy. And so I was like, don't know what she's saying. J Hud, of course, doesn't even try and sounds amazing. She just kind of goes, oh, that's the noise I make when I get out of bed.
J Hud, seriously, has made 2 movies now where the entirety of the entertainment in both of those films is her singing one song.
Yeah.
And in Cats, she nearly saves the film, but not quite.
It was very difficult.
Do you know
what she needed?
Girls,
she needed Mariah. Mariah can save Christmas. She can save Cats.
Yeah. Well, maybe
she can. She goes back in the house and saves them. So
this did remind me a bit of Cats, because no one really seems to be there. Like, I'm not even convinced that Mariah, Ariana, and J Hud were in the same room at the same time.
Sure, yeah. There's a bit of green screen going on,
but I kind of love. I was like, they're just like, yeah, this is going to be all green screen and weird, but at least unlike Cats, we're not going to pretend it's good.
Yeah. And it's kind of okay because it's the North Pole. It doesn't have to be reality.
Yeah. Well, neither does Cats. They're not people. They're cats.
That's true. They are cats.
Like, it could have been not real.
I mean, who just said, oh, you know what? It's going to be great. Judi Dench as a cat. There's a movie.
Oh, Ian McKellen as a cat. The campest, most over-the-top cat you've ever seen.
Hello, it's Brooke Devard, host of Naked Beauty, and I could not be more excited about Kate Spade New York's summer collection. They are celebrating 30 years of the brand, and the Kate Spade New York design team really outdid themselves with this summer collection. There's a gorgeous lemon-inspired raffia bag that I love, and the Bahamas sandals. It's a low heel with a feather detail at the toe. Take me on vacation immediately so I have an opportunity to wear these. Go to katespade.com to shop the Kate Spade New York summer collection now. I promise you're going to find something incredible for your summer outfits.
Now, we do have a little bit of rock and roll showing up. And I do love that Mariah does touch the buzzies on the line about milk and cookies. That was almost the moment of the
You can
episode.
cook it.
Because I do love this song. But the gag of the show was, as mentioned, the harmonised whistles.
Oh.
Which, I mean, we do that all the time.
I know,
But
we
it was cute to see them try. But no, it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, what? And every time, like, everyone's reactions online have just been, I'm sorry, what? I don't know. Did that just happen? Sorry, I just nearly touched Mariah's milk and cookies on my background. They disappeared.
It's one of those things, you have to keep watching it to see it. Like, it's like, is it?
Yeah, did that just happen?
I'm going to have to watch this again. Because
Rewind.
they did squeal, didn't they? And J Hud was totally checked out at that point.
Yeah. Did you see when J Hud did do a higher note just before that? Mariah kind of like leans back a little because like, it's going to be loud. Give me a second.
Better get out of the way because J Hud's got some pipes.
Yes. And then, just almost out of nowhere, Jermaine and Snoop Claus bound onto the set.
Snoop Claus is, I don't understand it, but I love it.
Greatest thing that's ever happened. I think he might have upstaged the whistle with his dancing. Now, apparently they weren't really originally planned, but sort of, as things were coming together, Snoop thought it'd be fun to do something, Christmassy for the kids and all of that. Yeah. So he's just, I'll just come down and I'll just do a little rap in the middle, a bit of menu log, and my big hit menu log song, and do a little Santa dancing. And Jermaine was barely there, and that's okay.
That's fine.
But
I love it. I love Here Comes Santa Claus right down Santa Claus Lane, which is my nickname in high school. That was always one of my terrible Christmas jokes.
Oh my God. I thought you were more holy night. But
No.
That's just me.
I used to, because I had a beard for a little while, big white beard.
What was her name?
Penelope Cruz. No, big white beard. And I used to say, I know I look like Santa. I'll come down your chimney and empty my sack.
No.
Anyway.
It was just terrifying because you were 13.
Oh my God. I forget all these terrible jokes I used to do.
Oh my God. But of course, yes, I'm very excited for the thousands of gifts that will be made out of Snoop Claus's dancing. Because that was something else right there.
It was spectacular. I kept taking photos of the television and sending them to my sister. I was like, anyway, Snoop is Santa.
Yes. I did get a couple of these photos. It was very exciting. Then we hit into the Sugar Plum Fairy. Now, apparently this is someone famous, but I don't know her. I'm sure she is. It's ballet. I'm more of a tap man.
Misty Copeland, the dancer.
Yeah. Okay. But I didn't think I could be any more gagged. But my note was whistle notes get fucked. Invented ballet. That's what happened in this section. That Mariah invented ballet by whistle noting Sugar Plum Fairy.
Yeah.
What else do you say about this?
She sang along to the ballet bit.
Even when the whistles weren't quite coming, they still were there.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't quite nail that one. Oh, well, it's there.
It was heaven. That was seriously one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. Watching
fabulous.
someone flounce about in a tutu while Mariah squeals the nutcracker out.
Yeah. I barely even paid attention to what's her name. I was just listening to the
Misty
whistle notes.
Copeland.
Yeah. I'm sure she's lovely. But I don't know her. I can't pretend I know her.
Oh, no.
Maybe someday. She
Don't
came up
know
and
her,
introduced herself to
you
me.
don't know
No, I just don't know her. I've not met her. Whereas Beyonce, I have met. So
okay.
I know Beyonce. But, she came up and introduced herself to me and said, hi, I am Misty Copeland. Then maybe I would know her. We could have a conversation.
Right.
But I hope everyone's understanding the references that I'm throwing in there. Little Watch What Happens love. Then we're off to the forest. The snowy forest. And I love that this...
In another
the
costume
whole,
change. Like, there are so many costume changes in this special. I love it.
The whole storyline is just Mariah. Like, she comes to save Christmas and then just does whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah, she does say, I'm not great with schedules.
I'm going to the forest now. Bye.
I love Billy Finger. Why is she in the forest?
I know. And she does sing Christmas Time is in the Air, one of her songs as well, in the silver dress. And I've got to say, we had many a fan in the ear for this.
Oh, yeah.
That hair... It was parting like the closet that we came out of.
It was amazing, and also, once again, thighs and titsmas. Titsmas time is in the air.
She then pretty quickly dives into a little Oh Holy Night, which I actually thought when it first started playing. I was like, is this going to be When I Saw You?
No.
Like, the beginning of it, I was like, is she about to hit us with an album track?
No.
Is that what's happening here?
Oh, Holy Night. And I love that she found an entire orchestra just there in the forest.
Yeah. Of course she did. And the choir is always heaven.
Oh, heaven.
But at this point, my realization...
Oh, Holy Night is one of my favourite Mariah Carols.
Yes, it is.
Because it's like, I see a key change and I will double it.
Yeah. So great that she wrote it. I'm so happy for her.
She didn't write that one.
But it was this point throughout the night that I suddenly thought to myself, where the hell is Miss Piggy?
Oh.
We were promised in our assumptions a Miss Piggy cameo.
No, we
And
were.
I'm sorry, but peanuts are not puppets.
There was discussions of perhaps a puppet, and I think the animated Woodstock maybe was going to be a puppet, and then they went with, no, we'll just make it a cartoon.
You know what would have been good? Both.
Yes, that's true.
That's what would have... I needed that Miss Piggy, even just at the very end in the credits or
No,
something.
there's no Miss Piggy.
Showing up to do her own Christmas special.
No.
And we have sort of a return of rock and roll and little Mariah.
Oh, she's
and
woken
Mariah
up.
thought
It
it was
all
a dream. It's all a dream. We're in the Wizard of
all a
Oz.
dream.
It's all a dream. But then it's like, oh, hell no. This is real, girl. You're going on right now.
Not a dream. There's Billy with his little headset on his way to this drive-through.
I'd like 6 nuggets with some aioli.
What do you mean I need a car to go to the drive-through? Come on, I'm hungry.
Speaking of aioli, we have Joy to the World, the Lord is come.
Oh.
Now, I've never quite understood that lyric.
Can we talk about the dress?
No.
Mariah. So I know I said that Ariana and Jennifer Hudson were in bridesmaids' dresses because this is where Mariah married Christmas.
Yes. I actually thought, is that the Tommy Mottola dress again? Like, she whipped it out.
It's a big old dress. She looks like a toilet dolly. Like there would be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of toilet rolls up there.
That's where they've all gone.
That's where they've all gone to make the dress.
Because she did start planning this around February, March. And when will we short on toilet paper?
When Mariah had decided on this dress.
So it's so great that things are starting to fall into place.
Oh, yeah.
All of the panic buying, it was just for Mariah's dress.
Just for Mariah's big white dress. It's so good. It really does look like she's getting married to Christmas. I love it.
But the lyric of the Lord is come, like...
means he's arrived.
Has he?
Stop being disgusting.
The Lord has come.
He has.
Because if the Lord is come, we've been worshipping at that altar for years.
Shush.
Down at the Peel.
Stop being disgusting.
Every Friday night.
You are revolting. I'm not listening to you. This is a
just
wholesome
saying,
family musical special with Mariah's
We are
tits.
like the Lord. We are like the Lord of the Puffs. And of course, at this point, we see... the spirit level is rising.
Yes.
Rising. So much so that the power goes out in the world.
Billy presses the big button that says don't press under any circumstances.
It's just... what's
you
going on?
can't get the stuff.
No. He was jealous he wanted to be wearing the toilet paper jizz dress.
He turned off a bit Midler.
But of course, in true Mariah fashion, she completely fixed it with a rendition of Silent Night.
By candlelight.
Global
candlelight spectacular.
Yes. Yeah. One of the girls on the world looked like Beyonce. I was like, it might be. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Don't know.
Also, the global candlelight spectacular had a completely invisible dress change to a fishtail dress.
Yes.
She went from Lady Cake to Fish Lady. Lady Cake to Mermaid in a blink.
She gave the toilet paper as presents.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I do love that. One of the notes that Mariah put on Twitter was that was a real candle, and I was a little nervous for the hair.
I was nervous I was like, she could go up. I hope she doesn't melt. What if the chin black starts to run?
Oh, no. How very lawyer of her. I can't think of his name. I don't know him. But it takes me back to kinder. When I was 4 years old, we had to sing the 12 Days of Christmas. And I was maybe day 2 or 3. So, because it counts backwards, I was right towards the end. And we all had to hold candles. Now, this was my first introduction to fire.
Oh, dear.
And I remember being there, having to wait for like 9, 10 verses, holding this friggin' candle. It's just going, it's going to burn me. And I'm going to drop it. I'm going to set fire to the kinder. Thankfully, that is not what happened. Everything was fine. Praise Mariah.
But you still swore the young men to burn candle wax onto you various parts.
That's what happens at the peel. No, I don't know what's happening anymore. But no, it just took me back. I know. I'm not thinking. I just say words sometimes and hope that they lead somewhere.
Don't open the door to filth. I'll go in there.
I didn't open my chimney. But no, it took me back to... It just took me back to it, and it made me... once again, I was just like, oh, Mariah and I connected, you know?
Oh, bless.
We just connected. It's like when she announced the cookies, and I just happened to have eaten a cookie that day.
Oh, that's...
that almost never happens.
That happens to me about 4 times a day.
But then, of course, at the very end, Mariah gives a speech about being together and Christmas magic and all of this. So, you know, the president could never. But
Christmas joy and unity.
Christmas is saved. Christmas is saved. Mariah is a world leader at this point.
I was trying to explain this to Gary. Because what happened at the end? I went, well, she saved Christmas, and then Billy Eichner turned it off, but she saved it again with a candle.
Yeah.
She double saved Christmas.
I don't understand why that doesn't make sense to you.
No, it made sense to me. He was confused.
Perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Perfectly clear, Gary.
She double saved Christmas.
I don't know, Gary. I literally don't. We've never met. And then, of course... hello. Yeah. Yes. At least there's a fucking puppet. For anyone wondering, Fab just held up a Bert.
No, it's an Ernie. That was
Ernie. Ernie? Whatever.
Bert was the stick in the mud. Ernie was the fun one.
Oh, it was the stick in the chimney. Now, while everything's saved, there is still one song that we need to hear.
And I love Tiffany Haddish going, something's missing. I'm like, yes, she hasn't sung the song.
Yeah. Which is weird because I actually heard you say that when I was watching. In a different state.
I know.
At a different time.
We're in different cities.
But this is where we get a little All I Want for Christmas Is You with the extra festive wig that I was talking about that somehow makes her not look like a real person.
Because she's already close to 6 feet tall.
Yes.
So in heels with that wig, she is now like 6'3".
In RuPaul territory.
Like she's like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. And it makes her, because she's got the buzzies out, she's got the hips.
Oh my God,
but it makes her head look really tiny because the hair's so big.
And I love that she had to lean on Brian, because she was a bit top heavy. She kept tipping over.
And of course he does.
I'm wondering if she put on that wedding dress just like in the Muppets Take Manhattan when Miss Piggy kept telling Kermit they were only getting married in the movie. But then she was secretly trying to marry him in real life.
Maybe. We might get to that in the book.
Mariah maybe secretly married Brian on the set of this,
right there.
And he doesn't know.
Yeah. Right on that green screen. But yes, we got a little bit fancy with Brian. He does take her on a little tour of her own set.
I know. I'm going to take you over here. The wall's green. And
yes.
I'll go back over here where the wall is green.
Yes. She probably, normally would have done that by herself, but realised because of the wig she would have toppled right over. Yeah. So needed help getting down the stairs.
And yeah, Rock and Roll were there for her to fall on if she needed padding and cushioning.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Why else have children?
I know.
But I think that pretty much brings us to the end. We had the end credits. Little Mariah is happy or whatever. And
little Mariah got to finally hang her butterfly ornament on the tree.
Hooray.
Little Mimi.
The most important thing. And I should point out that there is also a soundtrack of this that has been released with full versions.
Full version. love all of the songs, including the fully squealed Sugar Plum.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I'm going to check right now. Surely, how could you not release that?
Did not know. I thought I was just going to have to log into the Apple TV and watch it every day, which I'll do anyway. But it would be handy to be able to pop them in my rotating list of Christmas songs that I play from the 1st of December until the 1st of December. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-dong-ding.
I do love that it's being hailed as the second soundtrack album by American singer-songwriter Mariah Carey, meaning it's the sequel to Glitter.
Oh, it is. Well, this is almost as coherent as Glitter. At least she didn't pretend to write any songs psychically with her boyfriend who she'd broken up with and had been killed and left in a ditch.
Oh my god! But yes, I'm just gonna
sing this song in my concert tonight that I've written psychically with my boyfriend. Weirdly, there's orchestrations and a lighting plot, but hey, let's go with it.
But yes, the soundtrack has 17 songs. With me. We've lost Fab. Sorry. It's gone.
I've gone to Glitter. We have to do a special Glitter episode now. I don't want to relive it all.
But yes, the Sugar Plum Fairy, track 11, is on the soundtrack. It's 17 songs, so you're ready. You're ready to go.
I have dilated to 8 centimetres for this album.
Oh, look out. I've got to wait to get to 10, obviously.
I'm going to fit it all in.
Oh, this really went off the rails, didn't it?
I'm beside myself. This was such a fun thing to watch. Like, I feel like watching it every day. Just
for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life. Just Mariah, mysterious. Because I went to the musical theatre this week and I saw The Frozen. Which
the Frozen Yogurt.
Frozen Yogurt, the musical. Which is great. You know, there's a couple of good songs in it. And there is a costume change on stage, which is... And it's like a magical costume change. Gemma Ricks is a great singer. But... You know,
I love that song about pasta.
The pasta's in the past.
Yes. Gone gluten-free, not in that anymore.
But just, you know, as much as I enjoyed A Night at the Theatre, I feel like this Mariah Carey Magical Christmas Special, like, I would go and see this as a show.
Oh, yeah, 3D at the movies.
Because she does normally do one at Christmas.
Yes.
She normally does a Christmas concert. And I figure this is just, this is what I would do at my concert. I've put it through a weird storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It makes sense now.
It's
Tiffany Haddish is there. She's telling us what's going on.
Yeah. She's got a cartoon in the middle.
Yeah. No puppets, but whatever.
No puppet. I know.
Next year it'll happen.
Oh, I've got to download the soundtrack now. We'll have to go. I didn't know it was there.
You've got much listening to do.
I love how you put another extra Mimi moment right at the end.
Oh, yes. Anytime. My life is now Mimi moments.
It's 24/7.
Legitimately.
All right, next week it's going to be a whopper of an episode because
we might know Alison.
We might know Alison, and then we might not know her.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. All right, Posh. Big air kisses, darling. Mwah, mwah. Goodbye, Lamely.
Bye, Lamely.